And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the Final Fantasy XIV main story for Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Gala mode at 1329. And we need to talk to Lucia. The quest is called Strange Bedfellows. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me, what do you know of the First Legion and the deposition of their forces? They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry, a reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Julius back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphinaud and Alice and the scouts sent to extradite them should already be at the station. I will also have our comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Okay, so Julius is gonna go off. Alright, so we need to talk to Alice over there, so let us go. Okay, so we caught up to Alice, so let's talk to her. So Mithrie and Julius. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties, and then he was alone. No, he wouldn't. Tancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us where I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to say, we can have supplies brought over to them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. Oh yeah, nodding simulator. Alright. So we need to speak to, what's his name? Sabinanus. Sabiananus? Sabinianus. Sabinianus? Okay. Whatever is. And I'll see if I can attune to the Aphrodite while I'm here as well. Oh, Sabiananus. Ah, there he is. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think that we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you, please. Cool. Can we shoot now? We can. Nice. Okay, tune to the right. Let's talk to Queso. Well, got the A4I sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in later room is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Okay, so now we need to talk to Flavius. Okay. It's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us, not that it makes much difference now. Pure bloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning, until all you left is with anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept. Okay, let's talk to Alpha Node now. Okay, there we go. We have much to discuss. I will rescue the attack on Count Broken class. What we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect that we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Laminzan friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. And there's blood on the wall. Alright, let's go to the first area. Okay, we've made it to the first location. Let's summon the Chocobo. Then let's examine. Alright. Alright. Let's go to the next place. Alright, so we got to the next fight, so let's do it. Now we have to use this chain to finish this guy off. I don't know when we're supposed to use it. We can't use it yet. Okay, so now we can use it when he's down. There we go. Done. Alright, let's go to the next location. Okay, we've made it to the next destination. Let's examine it. You see no threats on the path ahead. Cool. Alright, let's go to the fourth and final place. Okay, so we've made it to the final destination. So let's see what fight we have. That's one of these guys. I can use a 2-guild boiled egg. How about that? Yeah. Get ready to use the quest item. Alright, so now we need to speak with Tancred. Let's go. Okay, we caught up to Tancred, so let's talk to him. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I am to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our scouting forays. But I'll save that for later. First things first, and all that. Fair enough. So where is Lucia? Okay, she's at the camp, so let's teleport there. Okay, let's talk to her. See what she has to say. Ah, Mithrie, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What are the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. So many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate the situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. And tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under direct orders of the legatus, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that he had lived, he would be tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability, or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. You can say, I didn't know the man, or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. Cool. The next quest is called In From the Cold. Lucia has further news for you. I assume that you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we are capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you seek out Y'shtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Alrighty. So let's go. Let's talk to Y'shtola. Yish. Yes. I have been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water. But what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. Well fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with, between the tempered and the first wounded. Alas, so I can mend their bodies, the toll their experience have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver. but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day one, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon sitting down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Sure.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here.
At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
You gave me a cup of hot boogers. It's not fair. I just wanted a coffee. Yes, we all hate you.
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent, we owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
As do I. We often don't have the luxury of choice.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
Like that sword in Lord of the Rings. Only glows in certain situations. Uh-oh. That's a good thing they have their little trinkets.
On behalf of the Gallian Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Uh-oh.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken. Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh. So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Me back my body. This is such a pain in the ass.
And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal? I think not. I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate. Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Zosgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima.
Uh-oh.
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost her appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself. Or together.
Dun dun dun. He's stolen my body.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity. Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, withstanding orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
I commence battle for In From the Cold. Now I've got a different body, so find the unknown Imperial. 25 minutes. I would say thankfully he's fighting as a paladin, but he seems to be really, really weak.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows.
Yeah.
Scurrying about like a rodent.
So the Tempered Imperial has breathed his last. Okay. You may use medical kits to restore HP. Okay. Pay your respects. You offer silent prayer for the deceased. Were you in possession of your own body, you may have had the capacity to subdue rather than slay this Tempered Soldier. In this battle, you are unable to use the full extent of your powers. To reach Camp Broken Glass quickly, you should avoid combat whenever possible. If you are discovered, your foes will give trace. Magitech units are especially powerful, and if your chances of defeating them in your current state are slim at best. Okay. Right, let's see if we can... This is Racked Magitech Reaper give. Yeah, we're not going that way, so... we can go this way. Medical kit, okay. So this is definitely a stealth mission. This way. Found a medical kit. I'm just going to keep following the path. I'm assuming this is the right way. The Reaper's leg has been damaged, but the weaponry should still function. You are able to clear a path, find identification key and fuel. Uh-oh. Okay. It's a dead end. Thank goodness, I thought I was the only one left. The bastards got my hand in when they took my Magitech Reaper. You can repair its leg, though. It should still work. Here, take this key. Okay. I ran out of Ceruleum, though. Alright, so this is the identification. Insert the identification key, but the Reaper cannot be activated without fuel. Alright. I need to find fuel. Okay, where is it? I want him to turn around if possible. So that he doesn't get me. Oh. Even worse. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, there's glowy over there. What's this? Small sack. Medical kit. East Imperial over there. Ugh. I think inevitable we're gonna fight at least one. Right. Okay, where are we going? Okay, we probably have to fight this one. I hope I have enough time left. It would be a shame if I don't. Discover a medical kit. Other thing over there. Go around here. Okay, there's a lot of mobs around here. See if we can circle around. Ah, bollocks. Well, I'm dead. Couple of other glowies over there. I just don't want to linger too long because I don't want to run out of time. Sack over here. Okay. Let's go through here. The all-concealing wreckage. Alright, this will really refuel it. Okay. So we have to go all the way back where we came. If we can. There we go. If I can even remember the way. See me, don't see me, don't see me. And touch this. No. Okay. I think this is the right way. Why did I just slip by this guy unnoticed? There we go. Let's refuel it. Nice. Disembark and proceed. Okay. Uh-oh. Going the right way? This is a bomb, so it might explode. This way? Okay. So we are helping on the way out. We've only got 12 minutes left. Obviously, the more I help, the better. Then in theory, we should get out quicker and quicker and quicker. Okay. Oh. Ah. I thought we would use the Magitech, but no. Wow, I don't have any healing. I am so dead. Oh. Did I fail? Able to escape the blast, you begin to lose consciousness. Oh god. Oh god, 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 oh god. Oof. Sorry, it's like smashing my keyboard. You can crawl to safety. Right. Will I get there in 9 minutes? Interesting, interesting.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Euless? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
That's her, over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm Mithrie still. Yeah, that's me. I'm totally fine. Don't you believe me? My name's Mithrie.
Who are you?
I'm Mithrie, don't you believe me? Can't you tell? Nice. I've seen us. Get away from them, you bastard. Give me back my body.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go.
What is this, Freaky Friday?
But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I have yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay. Predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether. And then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your
Thank goodness. She's awake.
Is everyone alright?
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Fandaniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, I like how the nods synchronize with the music. Like, ding! Wow. It's a surprisingly interesting quest. So let's talk to Alice. So you're certain you're well. Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good, though I won't promise the same to Fandaniel Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Prelude to the final days or no, it ends now. Alrighty. So that was an interesting quest, for sure. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.